What is up, YouTube? Chaz here, and today I'm here with Petros. We're here in Euros in Utrecht, 2023. You went top 16 with which deck?
Earth Machine.
Earth Machine. That is crazy. That is so amazing. Congrats on that, and let's see what your deck has in it. Let's check it out.
Okay. So for the engine monsters, obviously there's machinas in it. 3 gear frame, which searches this. This is a bit of a break, but what to do? You have to play sometimes one of those because it makes gear frame on one card Gear Gigant X plus also potentially a Zeus. Because even though this locks you into machines, you don't play anything but machines. I guess it locks me from somehow special summoning an Ash Blossom or something, I guess. Because that's the only non-machine in the entire deck. I guess there's Droll in the side. Spoilers. The rest of the targets that this can send to grave, this can search as well, are Force, the scariest card your opponent can have in their grave, probably, or in their field, even worse. It's the easiest thing to summon from grave. It's 4,600 attack, which means it can attack pretty much over anything. It killed a rival Cyberside Ignister and so on yesterday. Yeah, what's 4K? Anyway, if it's not enough, you can make Liban in 6K, but that's a different story. It negates in the battle phase, it halves your opponent's life, and it floats into 3 machinas, so a hell of a card. Citadel, it makes the whole deck repeatable. It's the main source of protection. Any Earth Machine becomes threat if this is engraved, because it can summon itself the moment it dies. And when an Earth Machine dies, and just Raigeki the entire board. Well, 3K or less, but that's most of the board. Fortress, card since the Edison era. Which means there's no one's per turn on it. It's great. It also has 2 very weird effects that people have a hard time playing around. Like if it's drawn by battle, it pops a card. If it's targeted by a monster effect, I look at your hands and discard one, which sometimes comes up, sometimes can make your opponent targeted on purpose or something. And yeah, it's also no one's per turn to summon it. You can just keep pitching, keep summoning it. There's so many combos with this just because of how recurable it is. And this is the Machina monsters.
Nice.
For the Infinite tracks, the other part of the deck, play 3 Harvesters. Secret Air, I don't know, I really wanted to mention that. I didn't have Secret till very recently. I had the Ultra ones. But now I got the Secrets.
They're beautiful,
yeah, they are. On normal or special, searches an Infinite track, and it has the level modulation Infinite tracks do, which is target another machine, make them their combined levels. So you can make a 9 with this, a 12 with this, and Heart make Zeus, or targeting a level 8 like regulars, you can make a 10. The search targets of Harvester are Dozer, which is locks you into Earth Machines, which is the only lock that matters, because it means you cannot make Zeus or Blathnir, mainly. And it makes River Stormer on its own from the extra deck, which searches any Earth Machine you want. 2 Trencher is Reborn. It has the Infinite Track Summon clause, which is tribute an Earth Machine, summon this from hand, and 1 Tunneler for the Avarice. This is not exactly an Infinite Track, but might as well be one. The only reason it's an Ancient Gear is so you can search it with Ballista, but what it does, it just adds one of these.
Fair.
And for the last part, we got trains. These are probably some of my favorite cards. The Drake Crane can chain block any effect on normal summon, like Harvester and stuff. If you normal summon Harvester and chain this, they can ash you, and then if you're afraid of anything else happening, you can just harvest the target. This Heart makes Zeus, and you can even pass at that point. Against a control deck, what they're gonna do if you just summon Zeus. Bullet Train is the recursion. It's also free level 10 almost at all times. Every end phase adds back machines if it was sent there this turn, and you can loop it with your extra deck tools. It's also 3K, so it's a good Citadel target to destroy.
Fair.
2, thankfully, Earth Machines. I don't know why it's regular as an Earth Machine, but I'm very glad it is. 3 Negate, searchable. If you target Gear Frame, it's a Union monster, so you can special summon it from the Spam Trap Zone, just like the ABCs. That's for the machine main deck monsters. I've got 3 Ash for the rest of the monsters. I don't think I need to explain this. Branded is a deck. Search spells. We got 3 redeployments, 3 heavy forward. This is 1 card combo. This is 1 card combo with a discard, so 1.5 card combo. This adds infinite tracks. This adds 2 machinas by discarding 1 card. They're both equally important, and they both do anything you want them to do. Redeployment has like 4 or 5 different combos depending on if you know what you're playing against or if you want to find out just on its own. Because you can either go for a 10, a 9, even just pop your own card so you can summon Citadel in turn 1 and be ready. And if you're going second, you also got 3 more great starters. Urgent Schedule. This card is so good.
It is.
It summons 2 from deck if your opponent has more monsters than you. And the restriction it applies to you is that you can only attack with machines.
Oh, woohoo.
Shock, horror, oh no. It's such a great card.
Yeah.
It also has a send effect. You can send it from field to grave to search a level 10. Any level 10, doesn't have to be Earth, so you can search Reinforce. Jizukuru, which, surprise, it's in the side. I mean, it has 2 effects, and if you draw both, you can also just trigger its second effect by either popping it or sending it with Aggernakle. For the flex spots and stuff, there's 3 Eclipse. I really love Eclipse. I flipped it versus Kashtira every time, wins the game. You either stop their turn, even against Branded, you either stop their turn when they're trying to attack you, and it's fine, they're going to draw some cards in the end phase unless you draw them or they prospect it, which happens a lot. Or you flip it on your turn and then you destroy their monsters and attack their face. Great card. I prefer this over Book of Moon, even though it can get ashed because there's usually more than one problem monster on the field.
Yep.
2 talents because I hate cash, and it's really good versus just stealing the Arise card and then making your own big ass Zeus. And the 1 Callby, that got me to 41 cards. I'm not cutting Callby. It's way too good of a card. That's the reason it's a 1.
Yeah.
Talent can also steal, after you steal Arise card, it's a machine, so you can just link it away if you're already in main 2 or anything like that. And 3 Imperms for the last Fang Trap and the 1 Overdrive. Overdrive is searchable with redeployment. If you pitch a Machina card, you can add 2 Machina cards instead of just monsters. And it can summon Citadel from deck for Aigeki, and you can banish it from grave, target 3 machines, including Zeus. They don't have to be Earth machines. In your banish or grave, put them back and draw 1. So you can loop your Pot of Avarice, which is Handler, and just use it again. So you can draw 5 cards basically within 2 turns.
Oh, that's good. That's pretty good.
For the extra deck, we have 3 Goliaths. It's the only multiple in my extra deck. The rest are one-offs. I really hated Diabloses when it was around. But no one knows what to banish, so that's good.
Yeah.
And no, I will not tell you. The 1 Ballista to search the box and search another Infinite Track. A Light Machine for a change. Platinum Gadget helps you when you start with Gear Frame. Helps you summon a Harvester from hand, so you can also get the Infinite Track engine after you get the Machina stuff. Genius. Genius is unaffected by spell traps and links. It matters so much for some reason, because you can just summon it versus an Appaloosa, and they cannot use Appaloosa to negate it. And it makes Appaloosa 0 because it negates 1 card on each field.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you summon 2 in its pointers, it searches, so schedule, it can search. You can also pop Reinforce in a very specific combo line and summon 2 Gear Frames and then use it to search anyway. Aggernakle, best end board in the game. You just end on this and Bullet Train in grave and you loop machines for the rest of eternity, really. Or until you get another turn and you can kill your opponent. That's it for the links. For the Xyz, in ascending rank order, we got Gear Gigant for 4s. You can make this with Gear Frame Spare. It searches Harvesters or box from grave or box from deck. And you can also search another Gear Frame. Stormer searches any Earth machine or foolishes it, which is really important under draw. You can just send Citadel, so you have so you don't die. You have a bit of protection, basically. The 9s, you got Blafnir. You can use this turn 1 to banish 1 card from your opponent's hand, so you know what they're playing blind. And also banishes from the field, so you can out Dragoons, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, you can out Borland, you can out anything that normally wouldn't be outed. Earth Slicer, just detach to pop, good old plain simple effect. It can come back from grave like the Infinite Tracks Xyz do, and if you can pop 1 of your own cards and just summon Citadel back. And for the rank 10s, and I guess 11s, We got the trains.
Oh yeah, I saw that on stream. This one.
Ah, yeah, that's a really good card right there. I mean, if I'm being fair, if we had time, I could have still won that game by just attacking.
Yep.
Because after Eclipse, and he drawed that game, that turn, meaning he wouldn't be able to draw from Eclipse in the end phase, even if I left the monsters up.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Funny. Yeah. So this can make itself a towers. So yeah, 4K defense, it's almost unoutable. Gustav helps you kill once you make Gustav if they have 2 or more monsters in attack position, or no monsters is game, because you burn for 2K, summon this, it becomes 6K and attacks twice on monsters. So if their monsters are 3K or less, which they more likely will be, you just kill them that way, or if they don't have a monster, 6K direct.
Okay.
Also, it can help you make Zeus. You can stack material. Speaking of which, that's a Zeus. Yeah, it's Zeus. It's the most consistent banish off of Kashtira players.
Yep.
And I do not mind that. And for side,
Yes.
Fujizakuru, searchable with schedule send. It's a full pitch for Fortress because a level 10 machine, and it can banish it for Ruin Force as 10 levels when it needs 12, so all you need is any other machine.
Nice.
And it's a kaiju. If you draw 2, you give your opponent 1, you summon one on your side, so that's half an OTK. And the other monster, 3 draws. I don't think they're good enough to main right now, especially under Kashtira using Shifter, or against decks that just draw is not that good enough against, so I think side is the best place for it right now. For spells, we got the 3 harpies, basically. I wouldn't call this anything else. I never cite this in if my opponent is not a backer deck, because even if they're attack position monsters, I prefer to use the evenly matched or something like that.
Okay.
So it's just backer removal. Also backer removal, but also good versus just monster boards and stuff. Yeah, just going second, good cards, and the only thing for sure for going first is just goes in match.
Yeah.
Kashtira loses to it. Dragon Link can lose to it if you catch them at the wrong time, especially if you also have interruptions, so they can't go all the way they want to.
Yep.
And what else? Yeah, I mean, Branded can lose to it because they need lights and darks all the time. Yeah, most decks can just lose to a well-timed goes in, I feel like, unless they're like, Lab or something that just doesn't care about this. Yeah.
Nice, clean profile, clean deck profile. Thank you so much. Do you want to do any shout outs?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out my my community back home in Limassol in Cyprus. Well, I never thought I'd make it here. I came alone, I came without them. I just came with some of my friends from the UK, where I studied. They're here with me. I'd like to shout out them. You can just, yeah, they're there.
Nice.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for the Limassol community and how good they've been to me, I wouldn't have started the game, and I would have stayed in the game for so many years, and I wouldn't have been here right now.
Yeah, I'm happy you're here, because this is the coolest deck in the whole event. Hey, Petros, thank you so much, and have a nice day.
Thank you.